A special thank you to each of our subscribers who make this channel possible. Here's today's story. In a significant show of discontent, around 13,000 farmers took to the streets of Whitehall this past Tuesday, armed with tractors and a clear message. They demand a meeting with the Chancellor regarding the contentious inheritance tax proposals that threaten their livelihoods. The protests come in light of the government's plan to impose a 20% inheritance tax on farms valued over £1 million, a move that has ignited a fierce backlash from rural communities and Labour MPs alike. The National Farmers Union, NFU, has been vocal about the potential impact of this policy, estimating that as many as 70,000 farms could be adversely affected, a stark contrast to the government's assertion that only 550 farms will face the tax. The Environment Secretary's dismissal of the farmers' concerns, labeling them as wrong, has only fueled the fire of discontent. Farmers, who are already grappling with rising costs and the effects of climate change, see this tax as a direct threat to their family-run businesses. The protests, which saw farmers driving their tractors through the heart of London, were not just about inheritance tax. They symbolized a larger struggle against policies perceived as detrimental to rural life. Labour MPs have begun to echo these concerns, with calls for the Treasury to release its modelling on the tax's impact. Steve Witherdon, MP for Montgomeryshire, has highlighted the need for clarity on how the proposed changes will protect family farms, urging the government to reconsider its stance. This sentiment is shared by other Labour representatives who fear that the tax could dismantle generations of farming heritage. As the government faces increasing pressure, Sir Keir Starmer has weighed in on the debate, accusing the BBC of bias in its coverage of the inheritance tax issue. The Prime Minister, currently attending the G20 summit in Rio, has defended the government's position, insisting that the majority of farmers will remain unaffected by the new tax policy. However, the disconnect between the government's narrative and the reality faced by farmers on the ground is becoming increasingly apparent. In a related development, the government has also announced the end of universal winter fuel payments, a decision that could push up to 100,000 pensioners into poverty by 2027. This revelation, which emerged from an impact assessment shared with a parliamentary committee, has sparked outrage among opposition parties, who argue that the cuts disproportionately affect the most vulnerable in society. As these issues unfold, the government finds itself at a crossroads, facing mounting criticism from both rural communities and urban constituents alike. The protests serve as a reminder of the need for dialogue and understanding between policymakers and the people they represent. With the stakes higher than ever, the coming weeks will be crucial in determining the future of farming in the UK and the government's approach to taxation and social welfare. That's all for this story. We upload videos every day covering many different subjects, so hit that subscribe button to stay informed. Thanks for watching.